Hello, welcome to my Boss Capital channel here. My name is Michael Chu. This will be a video about my growth stocks list for the week ending February 27, 2026. The market tried to bounce this week, but we came under pressure again on Friday. We had incurred more distribution days, which we talked about in the main market video. For the growth stocks list I follow here, we see that about 37% is still in uptrend, slightly below the last 2 weeks, which was 42, 39, and now 37. As we see here, Friday, we have a lot of stocks go back into downtrend. So here's the list of growth stocks that I follow. So on the first column, we have the ranking, and then here we have the stock symbol. We have the price performance since January 6th. And then this column here shows whether it's in an uptrend or downtrend based on the short-term 10-21 day moving average. And here we have whether it has made a new recent high. So if here February 27 means it did make a new recent high. And then the other columns here is the industry group and the sector. So looking at the list here, we see that there's still some technologies, although a lot of technology did pull back this week. But like I said, we're still seeing them at the top here because they have done well since that time frame. But one thing you will notice is the blue color here, which is the energy and commodities area. A lot of them has now started to show up in the top 30 here. So that is very interesting. Industrial is still doing well. You can see them up here as well. So it's still showing up here. So yeah, those are the main area. Obviously financial area is weaker now, and also retail is not showing up much, and also health, the biotech and health stuff, not as strong as well. Well, let's start with the technology sector. We do notice there's more downtrend now, right? Stocks that are in downtrend, meaning they're below their 10-day usually, 10-day moving average. So that is not a healthy sign. If I remove the downtrend ones, you can see the list is much shorter now, and some of them are kind of trading near the 10-21 day within 1%. We'll start with rank number 1 here, LITE Lumentum in the fiber optics group and VIAV here. Lumentum continue its very strong uptrend movement here along the 10-day green line here. Make a new high on Wednesday, pull back really sharply on Thursday. On Friday, it was able to find support, as you can see from the lows here. It didn't break another low, and it didn't come down to the green line as well. So it closed, near the top of the range, not more than halfway. So perhaps it could continue to bounce here again. VIAV also have similar pattern, new high on Wednesday, Thursday pullback, but it closed in the middle range. And then on Friday, it did find support near the lows as well. So right now it's just more near the neutral zone. So we'll see if it can bounce higher next week. CIEN, which hasn't reported, it will be reporting this week, also have very similar pattern, new high on Wednesday, pull back on Thursday, Friday it bounce back. Next group here is the computer data storage group. Rank number 3 is SanDisk SNDK. Looking at the chart here for SanDisk, this has been on a very strong uptrend, and then recently we have been digesting. And once again, this week we are pulling back once again. This one is still above the 10-day, but not by much. Here's WDC. This one has fallen back to, again, near the 10-day line as well. Here's Micron, also pulling back here towards the 21-day and 10-day. This one is Silicon Motion. This is now below the 21-day. And STX, very similar, also within the 10-21 day. Next group we look at is the Semiconductor Equipment group here. Rank number 9 is AEIS and 15 is Form. Most of the semiconductors pull back Thursday and Friday, and here you see it. Wednesday was making new high, but it has pulled back. But both days, notice how it actually bounced from the bottom and closed at the top of the day, intraday, and yeah, the 10-day moving average is still intact, and so this looks like it's very strong. Form factor had an ugly day on Thursday after a new high on Wednesday again. This one also found support near that 10-day, bouncing back on Friday. Other stocks have fallen in this group have fallen below their 10-day or near very close to it. Here's one ICHR, it fell pretty hard on Thursday. Friday, it went lower before bouncing back at the end of the day, but you can see it just slightly below the 10-day right now. Next group, very similar to semiconductor manufacturing, this one, and we have MTSI, AXX, ADI, TSM. They're still doing okay. Here's Maycom Tech Solutions, MTSI, falling on Thursday, after making a new high on Wednesday, and then Friday it was able to bounce back. So yeah, even Thursday we didn't close at the bottom range. So this is pretty good behavior so far. Next we have ASX also pulling back to the 10-day, bouncing back on Friday as well. Analog digital devices ADI also bouncing back on Friday, and TSM, which we cover in the main market video. Please watch that one. Only one stock is currently still within 1% of its moving average is ARM. ARM holding here. Been trading very tight along the 10 days, so that is very good behavior. Also, it didn't go much below it, but it didn't bounce much on Friday as well. So we'll have to see what happens next. Next group, rank 23 is RNG in the computer software enterprise. So again, this week we're seeing a little bit of improvement in the software group. Again, we mentioned that in the main market video as well, how the ETF index are showing strength. Here's Ring Central. We report earnings right here. It bounced really, really strong. Then we had a big pullback day, and then from there we're starting to find support as the 10 days start to rise. And so far we have been able to find support and hasn't come down to touch it. So this is good progress. Notice Thursday and Friday, it was able to close near the top of the range as well. This is Globe Online. This one also still have a high resistant downtrend line here. It tried to come to it twice now. Both times could not follow through, but it's still holding tight on the bottom channel line, which is near the 10 days. So we'll see what happens next. Here's Procore Technologies, PCOR. This one also has been bouncing nicely, trying to come out on Thursday, but Friday got knocked back down with the general market condition. But both days also closed at the top of the range. This next one is TWLO, TWLO, also bouncing back nicely. On Thursday, it was tried to make a new recent high, and then on Friday, it did pull back before bouncing from the morning lows here and close at the high there. So it looks very good. Next, we look at the telecom group. We see UI, CHTR, and HLIT here. This is UI Ubiquity, very nice uptrend. This 10-day moving average finding support around it. And on Friday, it was able to close at a new recent high as well. Then we had Charter Communications bouncing on Friday here off the 10 and 21 day. So it looks pretty good. We'll see if it can recover here and make new high. This is Harmonic HLIT, a little bit volatile recently after the earnings move. Found support here, and so far it's been hugging the 10 and 21 day line, and Friday was able to close a little bit higher than those averages. Other stocks that are doing well, we had DELL here, had a nice earnings gap up here, looking very sharp, coming back on the right side of the base. A little bit extended at this moment. We'll see how it handles as the 10-day comes up. Next, we have HubSpot here, also bouncing recently, climbing back above the 21-day and 10-day here. Been holding up on Friday as well after it came above those lines. So the next test might be coming to the red line here. Here's LifeRam Holdings, also bouncing very nicely recently, coming back all the way to the red line and then crossing it on Thursday and Friday. It was able to test it once more and bounce and close near the top of the range. So that is that's a good support line there. Other stocks that are doing well, we have FICO in the financial areas, CART, CARG, Internet Content, Zeta, Database, CDNS Design, AppLoving, Special Enterprise. Here's AppLoving is trying to come back above the 21 day. It's very close to it. We'll see if it can make it next week. We have ADSK here and WAY here. So next we're going to look at the industrial commercial area sector. Definitely one of my biggest lists here. You can see there's still quite a bit in uptrend. First group we'll look at is the electrical related groups here. And rank number 4 is GLW. A lot of the industrial stocks also have pulled back slightly on Thursday and Friday. Here's one GLW Corning, but this one looks very orderly. And Friday was able to find support as well and close in the middle range and also slightly higher than Thursday. Next we have VRT. VRT also been doing really well. It did try to pull back Thursday, Friday to the green line here before bouncing back and close near the top of the range. TTMI also pulling back here to the green line here. Friday wasn't much of a bounce, but we'll see what happened next here. Keysight Technologies, Keys is a symbol, have a really strong gap up earnings. So far it's been falling through. Didn't really give much chance in terms of pulling back entry point yet. Next we have COHR here also pulling back before bouncing back on Friday. Here's Regal Rexnord RX is the symbol, looking pretty good as it formed trade tightly here and finding support near the green line. Here's Fabrinet symbol FN. This one looks a little bit weaker as it come down near the 10-day line right now, slightly below it. Here's RBC bearings. This one is trading nicely, constantly finding support near the 10-day. This is NWEN electric symbol MVT, trading very tightly as well near the 10-day. AME, this one had a nice bounce on Friday on higher volume, so that looks pretty good. Here's SNM Semina. This one did pull back Thursday before bouncing back, but Friday came back down again to the red 50-day moving average. This is TRMB, not moving much right now. It did find support around this level here, but it's still under a downtrend line. Next, we look at the building related groups in the heavy construction heating products. We have MOD here, MOD, ranked number 5. Looking at this chart here, this one has been a very strong momentum. Look at the 10-day here. It did pull back, and so far it's been finding support on both Thursday and Friday and bounce off the green line. So we just need a follow through to keep moving higher. Here's Fixed Comfort System, looking very similar chart, pulling back to the green line, but also bouncing off it. PWR Quanta Service, very similar action, pulling back to the green line, also bouncing off it. Next, we have Mastech here, also bouncing nicely after pulling back to the green line. This is in the building heavy construction. Another one, ACOM. ACOM tried to come out on Thursday, but was able to also bounce back off the green line here and close above the red line. Next, we have the transportation group that has been doing really well this week. A lot of them are bouncing back. Here's XPO in the logistics area. Look at this nice pullback and then nice bounce here. Friday was able to close pretty much near the high here. Looks really good. Here's Star Bulk Carriers also pulling back and then bouncing and close at a new high on Friday. CSX also finding support near the green line here, looking very sharp. There's WebTech in the equipment area. This one also finding support at the grid line. Notice how it closed near the top of the range. This is in the transportation truck area, bouncing very strong Thursday and Friday, recovering most of the losses here. Here's Night Swift Transport also bouncing and closing at a new high on Friday. JPHD is trying to bounce back, very close. It's a new closing high. It may hit the new intraday high next. And we have Kirby Corp in the shipment area. Looks okay. It's been trading tight, finding support near the green line as well. Next area, that's aerospace defense, ranked number 42. We have ATI here. This one has been on a very nice uptrend. Look at that. It hasn't even come down to the green line once yet. Lots of ends here, and signifying potentially accumulation here with lots of volume. So look at how it closed at the top of the range on Thursday and Friday as well. Very strong action. Next we have AIR symbol, AIR Corp, finding support near the 10-day as well. Carpenter Technology also rising on a nice uptrend along the 10-day moving average. Next we have AFTAI Aviation here, bouncing off the 10-day here. Friday did pull back a little bit on after earnings result here. HWM also rising nicely, new closing high right there. Next we have CW pulling back slightly. Then we have HXL also bouncing off nicely here off the 10-day. Next we have the machinery industry group. At rank 45 we have KMT. Here's KMT pulling back here on Friday morning, but was able to bounce back. So very close to new high zone again. This is ESCO Technologies. ESC is the symbol. This one has been trading along the 10-day very nicely as well, finding support. Friday, it didn't go down much, just trading very tightly. We'll see if it can hold above the 10-day and bounce off it. Next, we have Lincoln Electric, LECO is the symbol. This one is trading between the 10 and 21 day. It's trying to find support at this moment, so we'll see if we can break out right here. Here's FAST also bouncing right now, looking good. Volume came in as well, so we'll see if that can follow through next week. In other areas, we also have security stock here, Arlo Technologies bouncing really sharp on their earnings report here. AXIA finding support at the 10-day. This is near the new high zone, very sharp momentum as well. ESI Element Solutions, this one has been pulling back slightly, trying to find support near the 10-day. Other areas of stocks that are doing well, JCI, OMC here. We have CENX, ULS, TKR, TRI, LIN, NFG making new high here, GE, MCO uptrend here. We have NI, TRS, ALB, NI is making new high as well. WM also making new high. SPGI, QNST, WCN, AMR, ARMK, and AVY. Next group area sector that's doing well is energy and commodities, and we'll start with oil and gas related stuff. Here's TPL ranked number 8. This one has a very strong uptrend. It accelerated and then it started to pull back. Look at the pullback. It didn't even come close to the 10-day, and then now it's bouncing once again. Here's Landbridge, very sharp bounce on earnings right here, and then on Friday was able to hold. Looks really good. Foreign Energy Technologies, FET here. This is a very strong uptrend. It accelerated. Right now it's pulling back. So far it hasn't come to the 10-day yet. Then we have Kodiak Gas Services here. Nice uptrend right now, bouncing off the 10-day as well. Looks very sharp, making new high. VIST, Vista Energy in the production area, also bouncing after earnings here. So we'll see if we can follow through. This is Expo Group, also bouncing here after a small pullback. So we'll see if we can follow through as well. EQT, Oil Gas Integrated, also bouncing to new high right now. Looks really good. This is DTM Midstream here. Also very nice sharp 10-day moving average uptrend here, bouncing off right here and then making new high. And Terra Resource AR also bouncing here. This is a nice trend line breakout right here on really high volume as well. This is Expand Energy, a little bit wobbly, but also trying to come out of this downtrend line here. It did pull back, so we'll see if we can follow through the next day. The next area that has been bouncing back is mining area, gold, silver specifically. We have SVM here, ranked number 14. This is Silver Core Metals. Look at this nice bounce, very fast, very steep slope here. We pretty much at a new closing high, even though silver hasn't really come back to the old top peak price yet, but the stocks are reacting that way. Look at Alamos Gold, same thing with gold. Gold price is also starting to bounce, but these stocks are acting a lot stronger. This is SSRM, also bouncing very strongly, making new highs right now. Next we have BVN here. This one also make a nice move from Friday. Then we have CDE Core Mining, also bouncing nice, making a new closing high. This is Anglo Gold Ashanti, also bouncing to new high, closing high here. This is a smaller cap stock, Fortuna Mining at $13.60. This one also starting to make a big move here. Here's Agnico Eagle Mining, making a new closing high. Next we have BHP Group here, also making a new closing high. Freeport McMoRan FCX, this one pulled back, but it's able to push off the lows here. This is OR Royalties, also making a new closing high. Royal Gold is also coming back up, looking very sharp. This is Eldorado Gold, looking also bouncing back as well. Kinross Gold is coming back on the right side of this base right now. And this is a machinery area, Manitoba, MTW, bouncing slightly off the moving average here. We look at other areas, agriculture, Darling Ingredients. This one very nice uptrend. Look at this. It just keep going. Next we have GE Vernova, also bouncing off the 10-day, finding support there, close off to the top of the range. We have Constellation Energy, CEG, also bouncing off nicely here on their earnings report. Now it's making new high, or as of new recent high as of Friday. The next sector we're going to look at is the health area. We're seeing a little bit more stocks than last week, not too much more, but a little bit more. So rank number 6, we have IOVA at the top here. This is IO1's Biotherapeutics. This one has a nice gap up. After that, it makes a new high. Then it comes back down, and again, it didn't really pull back all the way to the green line, which is the 10-day moving average, and then it start to bounce once again on Friday. Here's DaVita. This is really strong stock as well. Look at this bounce off the lows here on earnings. After that, it pulled back. Look at how it did touch the green line. Then we make another high, and from there we start to digest sideways. As the 10-day comes up, it did kind of touch it a little bit and bounce off, and right now we are making new high once again. PHC also came off really strong earnings, and then we went sideways, found support near the 10-day. We started to bounce on Thursday and holding on the gains on Friday. This is Hinge Health. We have this sharp pullback here, and then so far we have a sharp bounce back as well. This was the last time here we've pulled back to the 10 and 21 day before bouncing off. And on Friday, we were able to hold on to most of Thursday's gains and also cross the red line, which is the 50-day moving average. ENSG also bouncing very nicely on earnings report. Then it started to trade sideways and find support, looking very good. Here's Envista Holdings, MVST. This one also gap up on earnings. Then it started to move sideways towards the 10-day. From there, we find support. However, we did suffer a pullback here on Friday before bouncing back and recoup most of the losses here. MCK McKesson, this one also have a nice bounce of earnings report, and then from there we pull back to the 10-day. Since then we have been able to bounce off that green line, and now we are at new high. This is Royalty Pharma RPRX, also trading very nicely here along the 10-day. It did have one pullback here. Here we find this support near the 10-day again, and Friday we make new high once again. Here's LabCorp Holdings. Strong pullback here. Very volatile earnings day, but it did close at the top. From there, we're able to bounce back, finding support at the 10-day green line. There's still CHTR here, ASND, ABT, EW making new high, ABBV, SYK also making new high, ARQT, ISRG, DXCM, Lilly, IDXX, and STE. Next sector is the financial sector. The banks have fallen back quite a bit in general, especially Friday. A lot of financial areas got hit. So even given this list here, I'm actually surprised there's still some in uptrend. So let's take a look at it. We have rank 13 SII. This is Sprott Finance Investment Management. This one looking very sharp. Look at how it hasn't even come close to the 10-day ones yet. Then we have RELY in the financial service specialty area, finding support after this gap up, so looking very good as well. Next we have XYZ Block here, jumping on a very strong earnings. We have XP pulling back here towards the 10-day. So far it hasn't really been able to bounce back. Next we have Equinix. This is in the property REIT area. It recently jumped here and then pull back. Notice how it never touched the green line. Again here we're sitting very close to it, and then Friday we're able to bounce and have a new recent closing high here. TW in the specialty area also bouncing nicely along the 10-day moving average, making new high. This is FCFS also breaking out, bouncing back from the 10 and 21 day line here, making new high, very sharp. This is HSBC, a bang here, report on earnings. Nice bounce here. Right now might be pulling back. This is Equifax, also bouncing off nicely on earnings here. From there, we're able to go sideways, and then recently we're able to bounce back above the short-term moving average, and now we're reaching the red line, which is the 50-day. Very similar chart here, AJG, Gallagher in the insurance area, also bouncing off above the 21-day. This is Oscar Health in the insurance health area. This one's still below the 21-day slightly. So we'll see if we can cross that. And then we have NDAC, NASDAQ here, bouncing back above the short-term moving averages. Friday trading very tightly. Looks pretty healthy right now. Then we have MSCI, FIS here, WTW, AON, MBP, BOL, and TD here. making new recent high. The next sector here is retail. At the top, we see alcoholic beverages in general are doing well. Coke, CCEP, Bud here. This is Coca-Cola. Look at this chart. I mean, this is probably one of the strongest chart in the market right now. Consumer staples, they're doing really well right now. This is BUD, Anheuser-Busch here, breaking to new high on Friday. Then next we have Netflix and IMAX. We kind of talk about that in the main market video. IMAX, Netflix, and then for IMAX, this one also jumped really strong earnings, bouncing out on new high here. Looks really good. Then we have Etsy here and Leisure Gaming RSI. Actually trying to come back above the red line here, which is the 50-day moving average. It bounced really nice after the earnings. We have Rush Street Interactive here, RSI. This one is coming back on the right side of this double bottom base. It can be breaking out very soon here. Next we have more beverages here, Celsius. And then we have SJM Food Package. This is Celsius Holdings bouncing off new earnings report, making new recent high. It did pull back on Friday, but it's still above the 10-day, so we'll see how it moves after that. This is Food Package. Again, consumer staples doing well. This is breaking to new high as well on earnings report. Friday was able to hold most of those gains, so very impressive. Then we have Philip Morris PM, Symbol, Tobacco. This is also holding really tight around the 10-day here. And then here we have Food Preparation, CHEF, NYT Newspaper, ABAB, Leisure Travel, Booking, UL Food Package, PetSmart, Change Store, MSM, Retail Wholesale Building Products, Card, Retail Internet, Warby, eBay, ECL, Walmart doing well, ADM, McDonald's making new high. Look at this chart. It looks really sharp right now on McDonald's. Then we have TKO, Yum, TJX, Predo, and QSR, and Ford. So overall, the market is still showing a lot of strength. As you can see, there's still lots of stocks. A little bit weaker than the week before, but given the index also wobbly this week, surprisingly, growth stocks didn't act as bad as I would have thought. So given that, we'll see how next week goes. The chips fall off a little bit, so we want to see if it can come back. And software is picking up. So maybe that continue, maybe new strength there, we'll see. And industrials, still holding on. Most of them are doing okay, and so we'll see if that will continue its trend. And obviously, we talk about commodities and mining and energy, oil and gas. So those two areas also showing lots of strength still. So let's see how we continue with this. Obviously, financials took the most hit this week, and if we'll see if they can come back. So thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy this. Please like and subscribe.